All right, welcome everyone with Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Link Click Season 2, Episode 4. We had the funeral.
We're going into the past.
Yep.
We're going to see what we can do to rectify the situation.
Yeah.
Give some emotional support
Right.
to his wife.
Catharsis before the catharsis is potentially even needed, or, apologizing before a lot of the stuff happens. But okay, cool.
Yeah.
So now, what do we do? Do you try and, leave a message of, open this in 2 years while you're back there? Or do we just call that good and, try and move on?
Right. Can you change the junction point of a death?
Yeah.
I would say this show has to eventually address the idea that, yes, you can.
Because you've been causing junction points of death, so...
Yes, so you can therefore do that. Mm-hmm. It's just, what are the consequences that maybe Lu Guang is afraid of or has not just shared?
Well, and especially if you're doing something that's so, yes, granted, the death happens, close to the present time, but if the thing that you're doing to try and change that is so far back, that could have some pretty crazy consequences.
Yes, especially if you're doing some pretty major things. But if you're mostly just trying to understand maybe the situation and get some info, the fact that we can go theoretically so far back to observe stuff in that regard is pretty freaking awesome. So, yeah, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. I didn't even understand that was his wife in the previous scene.
Oh, yeah.
Shit, yeah, asshole. Yeah. Oh.
What?
I love his little swiveling, Right.
Okay. So is he making a play?
No, it's that he couldn't find it. Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, so no.
So
they did get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So we can now confirm that, it is definitely the little girl in the photo.
Okay. That's curious.
那波人到底从哪儿来的？
虽然都是些社会无业游民，
No
但在对陈斌
connection.
老婆的调查中
Yeah.
中得知，姓马的跟钱进一起到过陈斌家。
那天晚上
Okay.
Yeah.
钱队来过家里。
你看下，跟钱进一起的
Yeah.
是不是这个人？
对，就是他。
Boom, there you go. Connection.
当时我就觉得这个人行为很古怪。那这件事难道跟钱队也有关系？
弟妹，你冷静
Now
下
that I。think about it, that
现在没有形成完整的证据链，我们也没办法把事情解释清楚。
肖队，钱进到底是个怎么样的人？
yeah.
会不会就是他具有操控能力？
有超能力的，不可能是钱进。
Okay, cool. Explain why. Yeah.
我们当初是警校同学，并且一起入了警队。从我看他的第一眼起，我就知道，他是个比我更有正义感、更执着的人。之后我们合作破了不少案子。
Okay.
如果他要有那种本事，也就不会冒着生命危险受那么多伤了。后来我俩被拆开，分别带新人班。
Yeah, he put himself into the thick of it.
Right.
Okay.
你在车上眯一会儿，我来开车。你把案发地址告诉我。
Oh.
谢谢啊，秦队。地址是庆家路59号嘉兴小区，4单元501室。
Cool.
What?
Cool.
应该是入室行窃，
Cool.
正好女主人
Okay.
歹徒就一不做二不休。啊，秦队，
It's because he knows this place. This is his. Yeah.
前进！
Yeah. Oh shit.
快，你们所有人都先出去。
Oh shit.
那天我到现场才得知，遇害的是前进妻子，
Yeah.
Fuck.
Fuck, man.
而且他妻子死的时候
Oh my god. Yeah, this guy.
Okay.
This guy broke.
那
OK
行凶的犯人最后抓到没有？
不久之后，嫌疑人就
Uh-huh.
What's the catch?
但是因为证据不足，
Okay.
最
Yeah.
后还是被他逃脱了法律制裁。
So
Gotcha.
he's now
Yeah,
he's now doing things on his
Uh-huh.
own
Right.
他被人
means.
发现
Yeah.
死在了家里，
Yeah.
Right.
并且还留下了一封遗书，承认了自己入室行凶的罪行。当时很多人开始风言风语，怀疑是前进为了报复而干的，他也就干脆离开了警队，下海开了律
But
所。
what he might have done is he just found somebody that could,
Yeah.
do something,
Uh-huh.
and he
Right.
yeah, made them.
And
do it
of
for
course
him.
he would feel like, yes, this is, you know,
the right thing.
Yeah.
这是我们事后调取了大楼监控。
Good. Yes. Yes. Who
这
is
人是
this?
谁？
Uh-huh.
给我也看看，陆光，这个戴兜帽的人是谁？你为什么一直瞒着我们？
Yeah.
Well,
陆光，你
because
说
people
话
can be
呀！
possessed.
你是不是已经知道了什么？
那个人给了我这个，
这是
他戴着兜帽和口罩，故意挡住了自己的容貌，并且一言不发。
Oh. Oh no. No,
What?
this is a brother, and they want their sister saved.
Maybe, but I think from what we saw of the hair of the person in the car, it looked like exactly the same. With
Well, that's the thing, though.
bangs
But
and
that's the thing, though. Look on the back, though.
Yeah.
The picture drawn of a
但背后还留有一幅有些模糊了的儿童画
right.
和一段留言。
Yeah. What's the message say? Save her.
不能没了好哥哥。意思
哦
是不是希望我们能帮忙找回失去的亲人？
So the brother's the hostage.
那让我进入
It
照
just
片，
causes stress.
你只要提醒
Yeah.
我下一步该怎么做、怎么说就行了。
我一直不想把照片拿出来，就是因为这个。
进入照片，什么意思？
小
Well,
队，
because you can only use a
其实
photo
他们俩
once.
都有超能力，
Yeah.
一个能进入照片，一个能洞察照片里将要发生的事情。
真的假的？
Yeah, and you don't want to go in
有你们俩
blind.
的
It'd be
能力
better to take your
岂不是
time.
没有破不了的案子了？
但回到过去，本来就是件很危险的事。
All right, yeah, talk about this.
未来是否被改变，或者改变了什么，你我都无法预测。
即使发生了蝴蝶效应，可能处于现在的我们都感知不到。
Yeah.
更何况，对于不可改变的过往，我们真的放得下吗？
Yep. Yep. We've had many instances of this. Yeah. But one particular one. Traumatized us. Yeah. Oh.
看，相片自己打印出来了，去拿来看看自己拍的怎么样。
啊！
等等，你刚是不是说了声？哦，
别看
Yeah, just like
这
that.
个盒好像是哑的，你千万别再开口。
Oh shit.
什么？是个哑巴？
That's
你说照片
That's
里这个女孩
info.
是哑的？
小西啊，
陆光
你再讲句试试。
oh
再
no.
讲
That's
你可以的，
Yeah.
我讲一句，开口
You've
啊。
already changed things.
好啊，小西不哭，是妈妈错了，妈妈不该那么心急的。
Oh.
Oh, that
That now if she never talks again, then
Yeah.
the mom's gonna.
the mom is going to be destroyed by that.
Yeah.
别忘了看一下彩信，有没有发给过陌生号码？
陆光，现在这是要去哪儿啊？
等我收拾下东西。
I love that we're getting
我就
things
出门
happening in the present, like while all of this stuff is going
会不
on.
会是因为我刚才的失误啊？
没关系，我能看到他们将要去哪儿，那就说明一切还并未发生巨大改变。
Uh-huh.
Right, you can do little glimpses.
也可能对方发送完就把记录删除了。
True. Yep.
Tell him.
So there'd be no way to
你
tell.
把徐珊珊的电话号码给我，我让同事联系通信公司查查。
Nice.
Cool.
Nice.
Yes.
Awesome.
秦医生，今天小西她开口了，我亲耳听到她说了句“哦
Oh.
是吗？那看来方子还是有点效
Oh
果
my
的
god.
哪来的这样的骗子？
口上积德，我跟你是不是说过，对某些不了解的东西，可以不信，但要保持尊重。
Right.
平时让你少打
Right.
游戏，多看书，肚子里多点货，就不至于无知无畏了。
像对待小孩子一样教育程小时的，
啊，他 他心智是稍微老成了。
Just a little bit.
A little bit.
But Shang Shi is also feeling the feelings of this young girl too.
医生就是搭一下手腕就行。
他号脉不会察觉到我的存在吧？
你看看，
Yeah.
现在怎么又信了？
Well, just relax.
秦医生，有什么问题吗？
Yeah, because if certain physical things.
奇了怪了。
Yeah.
这脉象不像是个女娃娃，更像是个男娃。
啊？
Wait.
那这个
Oh.
脉象到底说明什么呀？
小娃娃的脉象越来越强，气血旺盛，病就快好了。原来这还真能搭出来。
那太好了，感谢秦医生
I。thought it'd be something of
Wait.
like.
So then she might end up getting raised as a boy.
Sure. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's all kinds of things that could happen as a result of this.
Yeah.
在这里停一下，然后去帮忙拎一袋药。
啊？现在吗？
当时孩子发现母亲一个人有些提不动了。
小希，你怎么了？没事，妈妈来拎就行了。别，
Oh, her fingers were straining. Oh.
白痴，不要太得意。
Yeah, isn't struggling to carry the heavy bag that was a problem for the adult.
哎，小王，查到了吗？那天晚上这个号码的确发过彩信是吗？看来真够狡猾的啊，把记录从手机里删了。哎，你继续说。
Cool. But we're still
那
finding
个
a
号码
trail.
是身份查到没有？
好，找到了。
Oh, like the OP.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's life,
可惜
isn't it?
只差一点儿了。
We get a little bit of progress.
Yeah.
最后2枚硬币，小希，看你的啦。
Oh,
看哥的。
I'm be so good at this.
Yeah.
这坑人的破机器。
That's just genuine frustration.
次机会，再来。
机主叫刘兰，家住南德区同里巷48号607。
加油，加油，加油，加油，加油！
Oh shit.
但奇怪的是，他在几年前就已经过世了。
啊？你说什么？
Oh.
徐珊珊的彩信发给了一个已经死去的人。
没错，通信公司提供的信息就是这样。我还特地核查了好几遍。
Whoa.
真是见了鬼了！
校队，这里还有件棘手的事，可能需要你赶紧回来一趟。
什么？有目击者报案？
Oh.
说自己看到了所有案件的来龙去脉。
那他还说了什么？
开始吧，把你知道的都告诉我们。
他要求只跟程小时一个人对话。
Oh shit. Oh shit.
All right,
that was a fun episode.
This episode was great. We
Yeah.
started off in some ways kind of redeeming that kind of awkward scene from before, because I didn't even realize that was Lumin's mom and or the businessman's wife there.
Yeah.
And they had a very clear kind of commiserating afterwards that they were more upset about the fact that these two funeral proceedings were happening at the same time,
Yeah,
showing
which-
the insensitivities to their son, which shows even more of how much of an asshole the guy is, because he doesn't care about his son. He's just
Yeah.
using that as a means
yeah.
to threaten them and bully and bludgeon them and stuff.
But it was interesting that he didn't. I don't. Well, actually, I might be
more-
misremembering. Did he mention his frustration when the wife was around, or did he only bring that up after
she left?
After she had left.
After she had left.
I don't give a shit about
Yes,
him. You know, right?
yes.
So
he's playing that for sure.
Yeah.
But the other part is that Ganlin doesn't have the phone.
No.
Specifically, the kid ended up
getting the phone,
picking up the phone,
right? Because of course the dude sees them there and is like, oh, gotcha, yeah, and you can't speak, so you must be here for the thing. Cool, assuming that it's all above board and as a part of the organization's general will, gives them the phone,
right?
And, then,
and he's used to also giving this kid just the yeah.
we don't question what you do.
Yeah, you're in the you're part of our secret
Black
side
Ops,
of things.
you know.
We don't Yeah, just no questions. Just go and do your job. Oh, I hand over a thing? Sure.
I even got the sense that, like, when he mentioned their, like, existence to Mr. Kyan might have been, like, pissed that he would bring that up in, like, a police precinct, you know?
Yes.
Like, now, granted, apparently it's something where it's like, okay, they're talking in private, so, you know, it wasn't a, like, you know, it wasn't a thing where the information would get out.
Right,
but,
that's probably also something where, because of the organization that Kyan has, he might even be the legal, person for this guy. Like,
sure. Yeah.
You know, so they might be protected under client,
attorney-client privilege.
Yeah,
I could absolutely see that being the case. Yeah. And that might be where he then also found out, like, wait a minute, that person was involved here. They actually weren't supposed to be.
Right.
Right? Like, oh.
They're stepping out of line.
Yeah.
I like this because we have no knowing of what the goal for this kid is. But since they're holding back in the story sense from explaining that so much until really now, that makes it seem like they're more a victim than someone that we need to see as a threat here.
Right.
Because of the way they contacted Lu Guang and handed the photo, meaning this is my character goal, this is my motivation,
and
please help, please do something with this.
And it is not something I can
do on my own.
Right. And that's especially important if they are a person that has a power. Right.
Also, if they're mute, they can't even call for help.
No,
this is one of the most terrifying things about this character that we're setting up here, is that they could just be another puppet for someone else that then can control them at any point.
Yep.
And if they have some kind of ability of some kind, it would make sense that they were then the one that was going into the girl, because there was almost this like giddy, childlike nature with the way that they kind of puppeted her.
Right. We definitely were guessing that, like, okay, this person is probably younger given how they're acting and things. But
also it could be a way in which they actually then get to speak.
Like, sure.
They can only speak when they're puppeting other people.
That makes total sense. And then, you have that sort of mutually beneficial situation where you have the person who can't walk and then the person who can't talk. And, oh, hey, this works great for both of us. Now, I think this episode also added to the notion that there could be multiple people with powers at play here. Because, one, what better way to maintain leverage on someone else with a power, right? Yeah. Because if they're the only one with the this crazy ability, then how much could you actually?
How are they being kept in actual control?
Right.
Here?
Yeah. Like you'd need to have some kind of check and balance and stuff. And so hey, that could be a way to do it. But then
it could also be just something where they're like, no, we injected you. You're tracked. We've got something that we can always find you. It doesn't matter what you do. You'll never be able to go and undo that.
But something else that they did in this episode that I want to know what you think about this, because it almost seemed like they were kind of consolidating possibilities for the audience of what they're going to do with regards to time, butterfly effect, that kind of thing. Because I love that the police officer just brings up the butterfly effect. He's like, well, okay, so, what about this, right? And
talking about the way in which they can change the future because it hasn't happened yet.
Right.
Which,
as opposed to changing the past.
That's not how time works.
That's not how time works, but also you've been having examples of things being changed as a result of people doing things. Now, yes, granted, that's in the, as far as you're concerned, the present of when you're experiencing it.
But
that doesn't mean that's when the person's actually doing it.
Time is not made of lines; it is made of circles.
That is why clocks are round. Exactly. So, and the fact that they have all of this information and stuff. Yes, it is possible that everything just happened to line up with, like, okay, they got the phone or the whatever, all of those things. But the simpler answer is, they got info at some point and then they do this stuff. Now, there is the possibility that because, like, stopping somebody from dying maybe is not as easy as making someone die. I think that's a bit of a shaky thing to put forward. Yeah. And I like that they're getting at the very least, for Cheng Xiaoxi's character development, the acceptance of, hey, I'm not a god. Sometimes I can't change things.
Yeah.
And that's okay. So I'm going to I'm not going to muck about when I don't actually know the potential ramifications of my actions. Cool. But it seemed like they might also be doing a thing of saying, so we're not actually going to change the past. That's how we can keep this show from like, spider webbing out into crazy territory.
They absolutely are setting up some nice, healthy boundaries. But this is also the kind of show so far that has teased for a long time that the boundaries are there for personal story, character-driven reasons, not mechanical ones.
And Lu Guang kind of he acknowledged that when they're getting at it, and it's like, hey, with all the crazy shit that's been happening, let's talk. And while he's still holding back a little bit, it's well, you don't know what will happen. I don't know what will happen. When we go back and we don't change anything, I can tell you exactly what's going on. But,
But now this person then showed up at the police precinct being like, I now have to communicate. I know everything. But also, I'm only going to speak to Cheng Jiaxi. Which makes perfect sense because now they have memory of Cheng Jiaxi being in their body.
Yeah, and I love that it's
shit, this is good.
Yeah, there's their own memories, because if they're someone with powers, then they might, they might be able to recognize the feeling, for one, that other people might not even detect. But then two, if you have something where all of a sudden this mute kid speaks, and it's the one time, like,
or they just, I spoke, I didn't mean to.
Yeah, I didn't know I could do that, but oh hey, I remember times when I could speak. Oh hey, and then because of, say, the info that the organization is able to gather of like, Cheng Jiaxi has some kind of power. Okay, cool, then that's probably the person who did it, until we find out,
Or it happened around the time of that photo.
Sure, yeah.
Which then...
Right, yeah, like, I gave them the photo as like the test, maybe. Yes.
It worked.
It worked, although... that, like, well, they don't have to have the same perspective on time muckery.
No,
In fact, they almost emphatically have to have a different perspective, given all the stuff that allegedly they've been doing, assuming that they're the one other person with powers. But yeah, so this is very fun. I like that there's the progress of, oh hey, now they're actually going to like communicate with you. They went into a police precinct where theoretically, they'll be somewhat safe from the overt actions of like whoever's puppeteering them or controlling them, or the business people. So nice. I liked that Mr. Kian actually made some solid mistakes, and that we got to see his backstory. Like the fact that he went to the house with the same person that he was going to send to do all of this stuff, that makes it so that the fact that the attack failed actually has consequences, as opposed to just, it was an action bit and then it doesn't really matter one way or the other. No, you were seen with that dude. They could, like, yes, it might not be anything absolutely definitive right now, but they could absolutely be like, so do you know this person? What's your association? There's all kinds of threads that they could pull on.
Well, right. It's easy to pull on the thread, but I think the main thing is that they have a case that they can work here. It's not something where they just have to move on, where they can basically say, hey, a higher up, person comes in and goes, what's this dumb thing you're working on forever? Here, we need you on more stuff. And it's like, well, here's what I have. And it's like, okay, there is something here. You don't have evidence to go to court, but you have something. So keep pulling and see where it goes. I am excited though for, given the way that this has gone, the antagonists to pull the rug out from under them again, because right now the reason why the protagonist feels safe to me is because I think this kid is the one primarily using the ability. But the thing is that they're more excited about the fact that they bumped into somebody else with the ability. That's at the very least someone that could help them. Now this is the part that's kind of interesting, is that the vibe I got from them was that they thought they were the only one before they met Cheng Jiaxi and Lu Guang and stuff. But now that they know they're not, it's the kind of thing where I'm like, maybe it's that they've suspected or that they've never looked into it, but it still does bring up the, okay, so then if that's the case, are the antagonists kind of toothless here? Because this kid might be just literally seeking protection here at this point. So, like, I need to go to a place where people that care about the law are going to keep me alive. But imagine if you will, any one of these cops getting puppeted or controlled or something like that, or they try to
and that's assuming,
get this kid back.
And that's assuming you can't be puppeted, right?
Or
like,
assuming that this kid is actually like looking to
right.
be helpful here and not just trying to set up another trap for Cheng Jiaxu.
And so here's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
assuming it's not a trap for Cheng Jiaxu, which I don't think it would be. I think
it could though.
It could, but I think this would be a very roundabout way to do it. I think that this kid did think that they were the only one with powers, which means that they are not the person who was doing all the stuff from the end of season 1.
Yeah, they're not necessarily being controlled either in the most overt sense.
Right. That's why
they're being protected.
Coerced by people that don't have abilities as far as they think.
Right.
And that's why they think they'll be safe in the police precinct. And if you wanted to have a crazy development cliffhanger for an episode after this, you have them then get puppeted and they kill themselves. Right? They give some information, they do some whatever, and then boom, done. Right? Yeah. That could be a crazy way to develop things while also...
Right, because we're trying to save this kid at the very least.
We're trying to save this kid.
They're in a situation in the past that is a shitty one.
Yep.
You can clearly tell that the mother is doing what she can, but she's at the end of her rope and tether and is going to, supernatural healing, miracle doctors to tap the pulse of
and
their
that's
kids.
That's something where like I got the sense that like a decent bit of that is maybe difference in cultural perspective for things.
But Lu Guang kind of
he was calling it out as
Cheng Jiaxu is like, this is bullshit, what a quack. And Lu Guang is the one basically saying like, hey, in this world of abilities, we should keep an open mind about stuff.
Yeah.
So give it the respect it is, but like, yes, it's probably bullshit,
And I did like the idea that they went into the pulse being different. I don't know how a pulse being different would connotate gender.
Well, it is that at the very least, this child and anybody that they're puppeting gets some aspect of their physical.
Exactly. Because if suddenly, mute people can talk, lame people can walk, you don't need glasses anymore, you have better physical, like all of these things, then at the very least you can move differently.
Right, you're actually puppeting. It's not just your partner in their mind. It's like, no, you jolted the brain with your being, your essence.
Now, that, going into details for something like this.
Let's save that for, go ahead.
I was expecting that it would be something to the degree of he's older, and so different heart rates for different people and things like that. But I think the fact that they brought that up means that it's hinting at elements that could be important later on with the details of the ramifications of this.
Well, right, but we've had this stuff hinted at in many other episodes. The ways in which people, like you're saying, are literally injured and they're still able to do stuff. The kinds of things with, Lu Min being, in a wheelchair, and being, puppeted and stuff. Then we have,
while at the same time,
the old guy, So it's.
Well, then at the same time, the little kid that got kidnapped, there was that specific mention of, if it had been with the actual strength of an adult, that, ultimate move could have like killed the kidnapper or something instead of just knocking them out or whatever.
Or broken the kid's, bones and stuff. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, we're in a real exciting place, and I'm glad that in some ways the story just kind of raced through this point here, because the pacing is almost too fast in my mind, but still taking us forward with all this progress is just really fun, because I don't know, I was worried by the way that the last episode went, so I'm glad that this is going this way. But yeah, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel. So yeah, if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.